Welcome back to this edition of Up and Coming. We talk about so many wonderful events and what's going on in our community all across Dufferin, and we're bombarded with things in the news, and it's not always good news, and it's not always happy, and tragedies happen, and we don't know what to do and how to handle them. But sometimes when there is something tragic that happens, something wonderful is born out of that tragedy. So I want to thank I want to thank my two guests that are joining me today to talk about a wonderful event. Matt and Wally, thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure.
And not necessarily an event, but something that was born out of tragedy. So why don't we start with that? Why don't we talk about what the tragedy was and what the wonderful thing that came out of it was?
Well, basically what happened is my friend Francesco Molinaro, he died on May 21st, 2016 in Wasaga. He was stabbed and killed. And from all that, after all that happened, it was very tragic, a lot of sadness going around everywhere. So, but then a thought came out of it about building a place to make things more safe for, kids and stuff. So the thought of Ches Place was born. And then from there on, it was kind of like a snowball effect. All of a sudden, Ches Place just started to build, and then people started coming from everywhere, thought it was a good idea, especially for the community. And then, yeah, like I said, Ches Place was born, so.
That's a wonderful thing. So why don't we tell, when people are dealing with this amount of grief and it's something that happened to somebody so young, and there's a lot of things to deal with. So something like this actually helps people deal with the pain.
Yeah, absolutely. It's brought a lot of people together, for a variety of reasons. It's not only the pain, but I think it's moving forward, and this is really what I think is critical.
Yes,
is moving forward, and it gives a place for the kids to gather. Yes, they're going through a grieving process. We understand that, and how long it's going to be is different for each and every individual, and how they handle those things. But it gives them a place to congregate together, to share what their feelings are, and to share how to move forward.
Right.
And moving forward means trying to get back to some of the normal things that they do, and also exploring new opportunities.
Yeah, and I think it's a wonderful tribute. There was actually two young men that passed away that weekend to tragedy in Wasaga Beach, and I think moving forward is a wonderful thing. But let's talk about what is it? What's happening there?
What's happening there is we've got a great group of youngsters, young individuals who really banded together to build this place from the ground up. The facility was donated to us, essentially.
Amazing.
We're not paying any rent, which is wonderful. We do have everything that was donated to us in terms of the contents, from pool tables to the kitchen to
everything.
TVs, everything that's in there, and musical instruments that have been donated for all the youth to gather there and use and help them move forward, discover, am I going to be a musician in the future?
Right.
Do I have friends who can assist me in different areas? It's partly a networking aspect for them, but maybe they're not realizing it at this point in time. But going forward, when they're a little bit older, when they're starting to get out into the work world, there's that opportunity for them to network with some old friends and some people that they will meet down the line as we start to develop further programs, such as job fairs, those types of things.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of room for growth and a lot of positivity.
Absolutely.
I think we've got a couple pictures from the grand opening that we're going to have a look at. Here's the picture right here. So why don't you tell me what's going on right here?
Might well take it now.
Okay, they're giving a plaque for Eric Tello.
Okay, he was the other gentleman that was fatally stabbed that weekend.
Yeah, the next
different, completely different event. And then this looks like the ribbon cutting.
Yep.
That's the Molinaro family.
Yep. Alessandro, Christian, and Mary.
Wonderful. So they're very involved, I'm assuming, in
absolutely
helping to develop it, absolutely, in a tribute to their son. And I think it's a wonderful thing that they're out there so quickly, because that grand opening only happened in February, and these events happened just last May. So I mean, that you did an amazing job getting everything put together so quickly.
Yeah, I think the actual building, the facility itself came together in roughly 3 months. From getting the kids in there to rip out what was there, and also working with some of the trades to install what we needed to have installed, for everything from the painting to the floors. This wasn't done by the parents.
Right.
It's done by the kids, and that's what's remarkable about it.
It is, and I think for some individuals too. I mean, ideally, I'm sure there are a lot of people that knew him Francesco they were very involved in. But this gives an opportunity for kids that may not have something to get involved in, or they don't really have a focus, but it allows them to come in, it allows them to meet new people, to help. Maybe they're very unsure of themselves, to build that self-esteem, to make new friends, and to feel more comfortable in general, and to actually get their hands on and do some work.
Well, this is one of the things that we're trying to promote is inclusiveness. It's not a place for you to fear coming to. We do say it is a safe place. It's a safe environment. It's like coming down back in the day, as I would say, back down to the rec room and having everybody gather. And to watch a hockey game, to play board games, to whatever, to play a little bit of pool, to chill out, absolutely.
Relax,
Yeah, that I mean, and that's a wonderful thing, and I don't think I think we need more places like that, and hopefully not derived from tragedy, but I think we just need more places like that, because I don't think it just gives you somewhere to focus and somewhere to be, and so they're not hanging out in the parking lot at a fast food restaurant or outside a movie chain.
That happens a lot in Bolton. So.
Yeah.
There's not a lot for them to do, and unless you're involved in an organized sport or whatever, it's very difficult. But at least there's an option here now.
Right.
There is the ability to go somewhere a few days a week at present. But, we hope to expand that going forward. Again, it is volunteer run, completely volunteer run, no funding.
There is no funding, and that's an important thing that we need to mention to everybody. There is no funding for this. It's not coming from the government, and donations are always welcome, as well as volunteers, I'm assuming, to help out and kind of keep everything up and running and clean and and new ideas. I mean, it gives the opportunity for kids to come out and say, hey, you know what, I'd really like to have, I'd really like to play some music, or you know what I mean? Like, I really like the opportunity to come and talk about whatever it happens to be.
There's also the opportunity for them to also get involved in community events. Before we were up and running, we were involved in the Bolton Santa Claus Parade.
Okay.
We had worked with Family Transition Center here in Orangeville in collecting toys for Christmas.
Amazing.
Hadn't had the doors open yet, but this is the kind of spirit and tribute that we're paying to Francesco, to Eric as well.
Yes.
In that sense. And, that momentum just starts to build and build and build. We hope to keep that momentum going.
Yes.
It's the positivity that now banding together and the strength from that.
Absolutely. And the Dufferin community, the Bolton community, Caledon, Orangeville, Shelburne, Erin, every community can help support. And I think we live in an absolutely wonderful place. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are helping, that are currently helping. But I think if you're somebody who, you're looking for somewhere to spend some time and to find a way to be a part of something, I think that this is a wonderful organization to be a part of.
Almost like a town safe haven.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's absolutely amazing that you have a lot of the majority of it is I call you a kid, and I know you're a young gentleman, but you've got the kids working on it, and I think that's just a great opportunity for people I'm speechless.
It can be overwhelming, and it is at times. Someone had asked me one time, spending a lot of hours there and doing a lot of stuff, and sometimes behind the scenes, you don't always see everybody there, but we do spend a lot of hours on it, and it's. They said, is this a labor of love? I said, no, it's not. It's an outpouring.
Absolutely.
It is an outpouring of love, and that's what it is. That's what it's about.
We are going to take a quick break, but we are going to be back with these two fine gentlemen, and we're going to find out some more information, so you stay tuned.